Every episode of No Offsides podcast is brought to you by Champion Hockey. Be a champion. No Offsides is happy to support US Roller Cup, a revolution in roller. Check out all these awesome tournaments, including November 8th through the 10th at Skate Safe America, Old Bethpage, New York, and the Ring of Fire in Kapolei, Hawaii, February 14th through 17th, 2025. And be sure to check out usrollercup.com and follow US Roller Cup at US Roller Cup on Instagram. US Roller Cup, a revolution in roller.
No offside.
3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to No Offsides podcast, sponsored by Champion Hockey. I'm Dan Dean, here with my partner Justin Wood.
Was
Our guest today plays pro roller between the pipes for the Rage Cats, plays for Team Canada, and is an Arizona State D1 alumni. We'd like to welcome Lane Hartwell. How's it going, Lane?
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I mean,
thanks for being here.
It was actually kind of funny how this ended up because, what was it? You got word that we were talking about you, Lane, and then, how we enjoyed watching you play, and then you're like, hey, I hear you guys like to watch me play in net. You go, what if I come on the podcast?
Yeah. No, I like doing these kind of podcasts, supporting like roller, and then found out you guys like watching me play, and that's kind of the biggest compliment ever. Like, I like to play with a lot of energy, like let my emotion kind of show, like a different person on the floor. So, people say that it means a lot.
I think that's something that's very obvious too. I mean, we played that little clip at the beginning here showing some highlights, and a couple of them are just you selling hard. And
Oh yeah,
I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, especially when in France, I think it was easier. Like, there's fans and you just feed off that, right? Like, I don't know how NHLers kind of calm themselves. I guess that's the kind of the difference. You got to find a balance, obviously, so you're still playing well, but to feed off that crowd and let it kind of motivate you. It's fun, kind of interactions.
Yeah, and in one of the videos you talked about France, right? And you can definitely see that it's not a North American rink.
Why is that? Because the net goes up to my calf, or?
Well, that, but also like it's just a rink plopped right in the middle of a room, and then there's some bleachers, and then it's like, hey, we got a league.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's nice though. We got the like fresh still mat and stuff there, and one thing that I like about France is like the community around it. Like most of the fans at the game either like play men's league there, have kids in the program. So, people in the stands or someone I'm playing like, men's league drop in with just to kind of get on the floor a little bit more. So kind of get to know the community as a whole and interact with them that way, which is really fun.
Well, you've said something that, all the pros that we've interviewed that play in Europe or have played in Europe, you've said something different that like you actually play like men's drop in after games and in between practices, I guess, that you're playing with parents and just other people. No one's ever said that to us. So that's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Like I brought my player skates over. I don't know if I like to kind of play player as much as I can. It gives me a different perspective and it changes it up. Like, long season, I'm training a lot in my position, but to get a break and still do something active and something other than the gym, bring my player skates, borrow pair of shin pads here or there and go out and snipe some tendies. It's fun. Kind of get that interaction.
Oh, yeah. So how long you been out in France?
I went over when I was 17, played a year for Garge. It was like right when like Brabeck and all them left Garge, like right after they won the championship. And that was nice to kind of get a taste of it. I'm up in elite and everything, but I always knew school was the goal. So I went, graduated, got my degree. And then it was really about finding a situation that was kind of right for me, whether it was the team. There was certain things that I wanted. I want to be in a safe neighborhood, like somewhere where I'm comfortable living, something where there is a little bit of things to do. So being right outside Bordeaux last year in St. Menard was a huge draw. Had a nice apartment and everything, and I could go on the rink a fair amount, which was a big thing for me.
Very cool.
Yeah. And so, like, when you're over, and I guess we'll just dive right into European pro, right? And so, like, when you're over in Europe and so obviously we know, like, in between, like, what your practices and you're working out, and like, besides pickup, I mean, like, what do you do to keep yourself busy? Because as we've talked to other people, they're like, there's a lot of free time.
There's a lot of free time, a lot of Netflix, binging shows. Like Good Thing Suits is 9 seasons. Like a lot of streaming, and just trying to take in as much of the culture as possible without obviously burning through your budget. I wanted to come home with a little bit of euros, make it worth it. So was trying to find that balance of what can I do around the place, but still save up a little bit and live comfortably.
Okay.
Being from Canada, do you have any French under your belt, or?
Everyone like always asks me that. They're like, how do you not know any French? You lived over there 2 years. I'm like, everybody on the team speaks English. They talk to you in English. And then they're like, how is your French not getting any better? I'm like, you guys talk to me in English. Like, when am I going to speak it? It's like, I can read it pretty good. I can like order myself a taco or anything like that. But in terms of listening and picking things up in the room, I'll get the occasional word. I'm better at the group chat, kind of reading it and stuff with the Duolingo and everything. So I can kind of get my way through it. But yeah, everyone kind of speaks English to you anyway, so you don't really need it as much.
Nice. Quick ad for Duolingo, by the way. You can use promo code no offsides.
Yeah, I still got my streak going.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever need it, but yeah, it's good.
Well, I mean, if you end up going, I guess they, you're French Canadian, they speak English and French. So yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, you may not need it, but you may.
Yeah, I know. Bell Center is is a bucket list kind of thing, but other than that, from Berta, not a lot of French speaking around here.
Us Americans don't know anything about Canada. I don't know where the French lines are.
It's pretty much just Quebec. That's like that one province kind of, but other than that, it's pretty English speaking everywhere.
Okay.
Figured.
So you said born in Alberta, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, obviously we know Canada's known for hockey, but kind of like what got you into playing hockey?
I don't know. That's all I know is like hockey. It's like all I remember is like I've been on skates and everything like that. And remember more of what made me become a goalie, but it was just kind of always hockey on, always at the rink. If you're not at the rink, you're in someone's driveway playing road hockey. It's just kind of around. You just kind of absorbed into that culture.
And so through that, why goalie?
Why goalie? I vividly remember Marc-Andre Fleury winning the cup with a diving shoulder save. And, everyone takes their turn like remotely. I think I love the gear for one. I vividly remember that save and being like, that's so cool. And then just someone needed to be him. And there was like 5 of us and we all took turns. So I got to play it a lot more and I just loved it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of a loner, kind of like a lone wolf in and of itself in like my personal life as well. So to kind of, have a position that kind of is that, you're part of the team, but you're on your own as well. It's kind of a cool balance and it's super unique. And I love that kind of aspect of it.
Yeah.
So did you end up being like the street goalie in the driveway and on the street and stuff like that and wearing like the outdoor pads?
Occasionally, yeah. Like I said, I like to snipe some goals as well. So, I take my turns, but just everything hockey, I'm all about it.
Well, I just looked at the weather. It says it's 50 degrees Fahrenheit in Alberta, and it's 107 in Phoenix, Arizona. So how was that transition while you're going to school there?
I think the first day I got to Arizona, I took 3 naps and 5 showers. I run hot as it is already, and so I was a puddle like the first 3 weeks. It was exhausting, but I liked it a lot. I was biking to class and stuff, but there's nothing quite like home, like the fall and even winter. I'm a December baby, so I'm kind of born for the cold, and it's just kind of something I was used to and I've lived with. And it's some days I wish I was down in Arizona basking in the heat, but I love it here.
How'd you decide to make that adventure happen?
Back when I was playing ice hockey, I wish I got the D1 ice hockey scholarship to ASU, and I was just probably as a kid watching the little ASU hype, party school, want to be down there in the heat and enjoying all the luxuries there. But then I found out they had a roller team, and I was doing well with the roller, and my parents kind of made it happen. They're like, "Is this something you still want to do? Is it realistic?" And I ended up getting some academic scholarship, so kind of made it a little bit more realistic, and then we ended up doing it for 2 years. And I'm so happy I did. It was awesome.
Who was it that we were talking to that was over at ASU, Dan?
Andrew Height.
It was Andrew, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I just moved into a hockey house with a couple of the boys, and you got your best friend a door down. It's pretty awesome to kind of go through that whole experience with someone that you're tight with.
Very cool. Nice.
And so you talked about playing ice, right, and trying to go far and go D1 in ice, throughout, because we've heard there's not many roller rinks in Canada. So where did roller come from to make you want to go and play roller at Arizona?
There's not a ton, but I feel like Alberta is right up there with Ontario. Entry costs, it's a cheap way to still allow your kid to play hockey. So I played inline every year, pretty much since I moved to Sherwood Park. From when I was 6 years old, I played U6 roller. And so it was always something that I did, but it was always something I did as okay, I'll play goalie and ice, and then I'll play player and inline. And then a couple of teams were like, "Oh, we really need a goalie. You have the gear. Do you want to play?" And I said, "Oh, I'm pretty good at this. This is going pretty well." Went down to a couple Narches as goalie, and so it kind of just each became their own sport in and of itself, because it is a different game. And then I kind of liked both just equally.
Do you remember what your first Narch was?
Ooh, it was in San Jose. I think I would have been 2012. Okay. There's still some old YouTube clip of me stopping someone in the skills comp and celebrating. So even back when I was 12, I liked it. I liked that atmosphere.
Heck yeah.
So you play ASU, play for ASU, right? Yeah. Those seasons how'd they go?
Went really well. Like I was kind of saying before the podcast here, that second year, my season GCU there, it's that direct competition. You kind of get that little bit of a rivalry where it's nice to kind of play those exciting, meaningful games all year long. Ran into a wagon in Lindenwood both years in nationals. The first year we lost a tough one, and same my senior year, gave it our all, and we just couldn't get over the hump. They're a good squad, and they were deep, so it was fun though. Wish I would have had a couple more nationals in me. Obviously, COVID kind of screwed that up for me. But going to school in the States for 4 years and only getting 2 chances at a chip is tough. But got my degree and did my job.
So I always like to ask about practices for college roller, because you kind of get different takes on it. You have some that are depending on what team they played for and who was on their team, practices were harder than games. Some say, it's a grind for hour and a half to 2 hours. And it's just straight competition. So I'm just curious, you're in net for ASU. Like, how did practices go?
Oh, it was good. Like I was like, not to say the engine, but I'm chirping guys and I'm letting them know they're not scoring because I want that competitiveness. Like it's an hour and a half, but we only get one of these a week, so you better show up and you better try because I'm giving it my all. I'm in there the entire time. I'm stopping every puck with max effort. So I feel like as a self leader, I want to lead this team. I wanted that chip badly, so I'm trying to drag everyone with me. And as a goalie, it's kind of an easy position to do that in because everyone wants to score, and if you're not doing that, you're not putting the effort in to kind of make the right plays happen or putting effort in your shot, it's not going to go in. And so I felt like that was a good. And Drew, all of himself too, we're both seniors, upperclassmen, like really pushing, like, okay, let's go. Like, the practices were good. That's kind of one of the things that I liked about it is I don't want to go out there, flip around, do kind of 3-on-0s, not really try. I love practice. Even over in France or back at Bethel, practice is fun for me. I'm going to see how long I can go without letting the goal in. I'm going to see, if I can stop you from scoring all practice. That's a mental battle in myself that I have, which is fun.
Yeah,
I love when goalies talk shit.
That's why I like having me as his goalie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, each guy you got your own tracker. Okay, he's 0 for 4. He's 1 for 3. Let's see if he can't get more than 3 goals today. Kind of, he battles with everybody and kind of keeping them honest.
Yeah, mine's usually, I don't want that guy to score. I definitely don't want that guy to score. Oh, shit. That guy had 3 goals that were just softies because he fanned on all 3 of them, and I was expecting a harder shot. I suck.
I hate those. I hate those. The softies that go in. That was You get D1 and D. We had a double A team instead of just like your group of 8.
Yeah.
How would you describe the difference between those 2 squads at the time you were there?
At the time we were there, they were good. Like it's kind of like D1 in the same sense of just like you got your aces up your sleeve and then you got the squad that's doing their role. There's not a big gap, but there is their own. Lindenwood had unreal double A teams, but ours competed here and there.
Very cool.
What was I going to say? So you're chirping guys. You're obviously celebrating, but you only have 1 practice a week.
Yeah.
So what the other days? Obviously, you usually have games on the weekend. But like, what's the other days look like? Is there men's hockey somewhere to stay like in shape or continue playing, or is it just nothing?
Yeah, in Arizona, we got that like the Sunday Elite League or whatever. So that's really good hockey, and it's a super like small rosters, so it's good players. There's no like I was saying, there's no fat or filler in the league. It's it's Elite League for a reason. There's only 4 squads because that's how much talent you got there. So it was always good games. Like I'd drop down to D2 and play Thursday. I'm never turning down a game.
Yeah. Okay. So you are sweating walking to the rink and definitely sweating on the rink.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, so for like goalies for having to play in the heat, right? And somewhere where it's hot. I mean, what would you say that's the best that you found out to be?
To be prepared for it, stay hydrated. Like before, like Sundays, I'd wake up and just start slamming waters. Like you just want to be able to sweat it out and like not start losing your head. Sometimes just the heat kills. Like as a hot guy, I can't do it. Like that was the French rinks, no AC. There's a couple of them. I was like, I guess I was gonna say it was like 33, but you guys don't really. It's like 105 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like 33 is somewhere up in the 90s, close to 100. Yeah.
Yeah, in American, but yeah. So I'm just like next shot mentality. Just get through it and just keep doing the right things, and it'll be over soon. And the worst thing is when you get lit up and you're by thing, like try and find the positives.
Yeah, well, because we have, here we have like a summer league, right? And so it's outside. And so our summers can be, they could be 80 degrees, but they can be humid, which makes it feel like it's 85, 88 degrees.
Yeah.
Right? And we're like, our goalies are like, oh, where's the goalie break? And I'm like, goalie break? Like, what do you mean goalie break? Like your team has timeouts, use them. And so, and then my other excuse to them that makes me look like an ass is I play out and I play goalie in the same night. You're fine. So,
goalies need special treatment, though. League can't run without a goalie.
Sure. I mean, listen, I respect my goalies in the league, but at times they need to be pushed.
Yeah, for sure. You can't just crutch. Got to be taking care of your body, like even when you're not playing, so that you're ready to go.
Yeah, we over the weekend that just passed was US Roller Cup in Snellville, Atlanta, and that rink gets pretty hot. There's a goalie. Sorry.
Isn't it like humid there too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No
the
AC.
humidity is the worst part for me. Like, it's hot, it's hot. Like, if it's humid, I'm dying.
Yeah, we were sitting there waiting for a game to start. I'm pretty sure it was in the pro division, and they had to have a sub goalie come in because their goalie had to have a emergency IV.
Oh,
so dehydrated.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the biggest thing. You just drink water, kind of Gator Light. Make sure you're ready to go because it can catch up on you quickly.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and
Yeah.
That's why for the longest time I tried getting Pedialyte as a sponsor because I would just down like 6 Pedialytes in a weekend, post it on social media and tag them, but they didn't care. They never cared.
Those things are a lifesaver, man. So
100%. Good. Those liquid IVs, especially if you're looking for flavor, if you're tired of just drinking water, anything that's going to give you electrolytes and kind of just keep you hydrated, it's the way to go. And also candy.
A little energy spike.
Yeah.
Yeah, my teammates will know I'm a big White Monster guy, so I'll get the Pedialyte after the game. But the game fuels the Monster every time. I know it's not the best for you, but slowly became part of the tradition, and then it's just superstition, and now it's every game gotta have one.
Yeah, but if you look at it for pro though, right? And your games are so spaced out that you'll drink one of them before the game, you'll work your ass off, you'll sweat it out, and then you probably have 5-6 hours.
Exactly.
Depending on the tournament, right? I mean, if it's State Wars or if it's Narch, you probably have about 8 hours until your next game because there's 15 teams. And in State Wars, you're looking at 10 or 10 teams. And so you still have a decently long schedule, and they always give a break in the schedule too, right in the middle in a day. So, and if you're unlucky with some teams this year, you had the first game and the last game of the day. So, it all depends on the luck of your schedule.
Yeah, for sure. The schedule looking is always fun. Like when it comes out, like, okay, well, what are we going to do here? What's the spacing look like?
Yeah.
When am I going to get my nap? Like, what am I going to do? How much sleep am I getting this weekend? Because after games, like, I can't, like, obviously the Monster doesn't help that late night game. Just adrenaline alone. Even if I didn't, I can't go to sleep. So, yeah, I'm always like in the hotel, like rewatching the game film immediately while everyone's crashed out and exhausted. I just can't go to sleep. I'm like, well, what happened here? How did I get scored on? I need peace of mind before I can hit the pillow.
Waking guys up, being like, hey, look at this. You missed this coverage here, you stupid asshole.
Drew, look at your slash on this guy.
Yeah.
No, that's good though.
So, I mean, what's you're playing that, right? And you're obviously a video guy. I mean, what's your pet peeve back there sitting in goal? And what are your pet peeves that your team in front of you? Like, what are the things that you're like, if you do this, I'm going to let you know?
Oh, that's tough. Like I'm kind of a mindset where it shouldn't matter what anybody else does on the floor. I should stop the puck. I'm like 3-0. as like some of my teammates will know, like a 2-0, I'm still kicking myself. Oh, that was a bad read. I should have cheated more, or I knew the pass was coming. I should have got there. So in terms of that, it's like it's tough to kind of pick one thing that I'm like, I don't like bad penalties in the offensive zone. I think it's a standard kind of thing. You're so close to scoring a goal and it comes back and you got to kill something off, especially early in the. I'd say an early penalty, early in the game.
Okay.
I haven't seen a puck yet, and now I'm going straight to a kill. I've been
Ooh.
burned on like early kills, but that's on me. I got to be ready from the puck drop. But that's kind of one thing. It's like, oh, yeah, it just ruins your game flow, and more of like not from like a goalie perspective, just like a teammate perspective that you can't find your game, and then all of a sudden if they do score on the power play, which a pro power play should, it's you're down, and then that changes the whole entire game.
Yeah, momentum swing will do it for you.
Yeah.
So let's shift to this summer, right? Playing for the Rage Cats. You missed the beginning of the summer, right?
Yeah, I had a wedding to go to. A good high school friend got married, and as soon as he sent me to save the date, I'm like, that's gonna be tours. That's gonna be tours, and I let him know early so they could find a guy at least. But yeah, like I'm at the reception, got the live stream going. I'm like, how the boys doing? I was missing it like crazy.
Yeah, and I can say this: Rage Cats played damn good this summer.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
And like they were, in because they didn't play Narch, but they played tours, they played state wars, and they were easily, I would say, top 3 team in both of them, right?
Wow,
you just look at just from how the Rage Cats played, with and without you, right? And so, who jumped in your spot for tours?
Aaron Giddings. He graduated from ASU like a couple years before I did. He was actually one of my roommates, so he knew Drew well, and we knew he was a good goalie, but he hadn't really got like the pro looks that he probably should have or anything like that. So over the last couple of years, he's been really like diamond up in those Sunday leagues and getting in good shape. So he came out and he played really well. I was like super proud. I kept texting him every game. I'm like, keep going, keep balling, like you're playing well. So I was really happy for him. And then he got the nod with the Snipers there too. So I was happy for him there.
Yeah, he played great in your absence, which always helps a team, to bring in a goalie that they typically don't play with, and to be able to have that backstop behind your players. The momentum from tours unfortunately didn't finish the way the team wants it to, right? But they go in state wars, play very well again. Unfortunately, does not end the same way. But at the same time, you look at last year to this year, I think there was a big improvement with the Rage Cats.
Yeah, I think our coach Murray's a great guy. Everyone's kind of upset at the end of the state wars, right? We're still young, but had high expectations, even though we've improved. It's tough to kind of take a back seat and look at that, but we finished higher than we did last year in both tournaments. We constantly improving. It'd just be nice to kind of rattle off. Our standard isn't make playoffs and do well anymore. It's a lot higher than that, and I think it should be higher than that because I think we are that good of a team.
Yeah.
So
and then you didn't miss your. Oh, go ahead, Dan.
No, go Justin. Go.
I was just gonna say you didn't miss your chance to play in Narch though, right?
Nope. I knew because I didn't have tours. I'm like, I need a tournament, play some North American pro roller before I come into State Wars. I really wanted to give State Wars a good run, so I had a chance to jump on with PGKA, get some games. I knew there would be a young team, so I'd probably face a lot of plastic and be ready to go. So it worked out well.
Very nice. Yeah, I listened to you on Roller Dad, and you're talking about wondering how that team was going to end up gelling together for the tournament. What was your take on that?
My take was Chucky Slick's unbelievable. I think that's a consensus pick. It was it's tough that quick, right? You kind of got an older group and a younger group. The younger group kind of gelled well because they were playing like 21 U's together. It's short, right? we had a game that we should have won, ended up blowing it, and I think that comes down to kind of cohesion and maturity of knowing when to take your chances and when to protect the lead. I think we protect that, and with our schedule, we had a nice schedule. We could have avoided that 8-9 game against a very strong OC Blades team.
Nice. So,
what was it specifically about Chucky that impressed you?
His release. One, his speed. He blows by, like, he's fast. But his release, it's, as a goalie, just watching it from behind, it's so hidden. It's pinpoint. It looks like he's skating, and then all of a sudden it's off. It's going right where he wants it. That low glove shot, that low blocker shot that every goalie kind of hates, it's on the money. I mean, playing all those years in those small nets, I'm sure like that's the spot over there. So he was picking them right away. So that was kind of what I noticed is the release is so deceptive. It almost looks like it's just like kind of pushing the hands out, and it's hard to get a release off the blade. It's not like a toe drag, and you kind of see the heel opening up. It's going to go far side, or it's not like pulling it in. It's just kind of a snap and it's gone.
Should have asked him what he's rocking as far as a blade curve.
I thought he said something. He got a new stick right before that Pure Maple game, and I guess it worked. 8 goals is pretty good. That's good, right?
Yeah. It's average. So, how did the whole you playing for Rage Cats come? How did that happen?
It was actually Drew, because we were being roommates and stuff, and they needed a goalie for Border Cats the one year at Tours. Their goalie got hurt in a men's league before, and I played with them for juniors, and I stepped up and played really well in pro. And then when all the young guys are like, okay, well, let's take this Rage Cats team and let's really go for it, they all vouch for me, and I really appreciate that because they grew up with a goalie, they know other guys, and to come into a place where it feels like family, we're all the same age, we're all like brothers and stuff like that. To get on with a group like that early, where it's a consistent group, means a lot. It's awesome. It's something I'm really, really looking forward to. Year in and year out, we could go and lose every game, but it's just fun with being with those guys. Not that we want to lose every game, but being with that group is almost better than the actual roller itself.
Man, if you were losing every game and you were watching video every time after a game, really kicking yourself in the ass.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I've watched a lot of goals go in on myself and some other teams, and I still watch it. It's always something to learn, no matter the win or loss.
I wasn't sure if you were going to say something, Justin. Awkward pause.
I wasn't sure how much of a left turn I wanted to make.
Go for it.
Well, you also played internationally, right? Played for Team Canada.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I played juniors and played 3 years of senior. Honored to wear maple leaf, like a proud Canadian, proud Albertan. So to represent Canada was always something that was pretty special to me. The first year I made senior men's, they had just changed it, so I was actually the youngest you could be to play senior. They'd seen me playing over in France and didn't even put my name. The roster came out and I was on it and I was elated. And ever since then, I was like, okay, well, now that I've made this team, I want to start for this team. I want to win with this team and everything like that. So it's just kind of another level where you get to and you want more. It's been awesome. Some pretty good teams and playing with some special players. Teed, I know you had Teed. You had Teed on here. Teed on here, and it's nice to have a goalie partner like that where we're taking different paths, but we're still pushing each other, and it's always nice to kind of have a guy that you can go to. If he succeeds, I'm happy for him, and hopefully it's the same way. Hopefully he's cheering for me, but it's nice to bounce ideas off each other and grow together.
Yeah, I picture you and Teed as who's the goalie? Oh, when it was Swayman and Olmark. I picture you two just having a blast together.
Yeah, it's nice. We can, kind of both go on our own and be the weirdo goalies and have a roller talk. And, I think him and I could sit there and just do blind rankings and, do all those fun little random chats just on our own and have a ball for hours.
Cool.
So, because it's been brought up to me a lot, and like just in separate conversations, I gotta say, how do you compare your side-to-side movement to Teed?
Ooh, side-to-side movement to tee.
Like
it's been brought up to you in terms of like one's better than the other, or
no, not so much one's better than the other, but like that people have been like, Teed is one of the best side-to-side movement roller goalies that they've ever seen.
Yeah, he's very like structurally sound, and I think it's a testament to how hard he works. Like just from his whole time at Bethel, he is always on the floor. Now over in Spain, he's so like precise, and he's so like positionally sound. I kind of get a little bit looser in the sense that I rely on more like sometimes non-conventional or dive, like not to diving, but just rely on battle a little bit more than he does in terms of he's so like on his position, like he relies heavily on his positioning to make good saves, and he makes a lot of like positionally sound saves. And I think that small net and that small crease just helps him a lot. He just can really dominate over there.
I love Teed too, but I don't know if I've seen many windmills from him.
No. Well, that's like I'm watching the highlight reel at the beginning, right? And I'm like, damn, I do a lot of that.
I'll just these windmills and diving saves. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, like I'm like after I'll go for a dive, and I'm like, I could have easily just moved over and butterflied, and I would have had that, but instead I chose to dive, and I'm like, that was really dumb of me.
No.
Yeah. Hey, you gotta have fun while you're doing it, right?
Oh,
but,
sure.
I think that's like the biggest thing I've kind of tried to work on. I think once I'm in the butterfly, I think I move around the crease exceptionally well on my knees, and I think for my size that can help me a lot. Like I can get back to posts and stay like sealed really, really well instead of like relying on like staying up and skating, which you need to hold your feet as much as you can, but to be able to kind of bail yourself out and stay within plays a little bit more structurally than relying on a dive or opening up to try and stretch. I think I've really improved in that sense.
I think too that, especially from a player's perspective, and this because you'll play out as well, that, getting a shot stopped sucks. But when the goalie looks like a badass doing it and makes you look really dumb, that's like a mental game. Like if a guy windmills you or makes a diving save, like that's like A, you stop the puck, and B, now you're messing with their head.
So yeah, I like that as well. The game within the game. A guy, his tendencies, and especially like that's why I love playing against like Skittles or something. We know those guys like really well, and it's like, okay, Patty, you're not scoring here. Or, nice try, Foz, and you just give them a little poke because you know what they're doing. Something like that. That's always fun, and that's the best part about like being in the division so long now. It's you kind of start to find those guys on every single team, and you kind of learn tendencies, and you have that battle one-on-one because you're going to see them in the lobby in 2 hours and be like, hey, nice try, and went short side there. I knew that was coming. Something like that. It's always fun.
So would you say that knowing those tendencies comes from like both playing and also watching your videos?
Yeah, like I watch like almost every game. Like I like to rink rat it and stay there all day and kind of watch guys. But it's nice to know in the back of your mind kind of their favorites, because once you start getting out there and thinking about it, then you're almost playing against yourself, and it's an advantage to that guy because all it takes is okay, he's reacting to you when you should be reacting to him.
Yeah.
I
You don't
don't
want to
know
make
if
the
we
first
brought
move.
this up while the podcast was going. I know we talked about it before. Maybe we brought it up at the very beginning. But you'll also kind of mess with guys in a way where you'll dangle guys.
Yeah, not so much of the pro division, but I like to play the puck. My guys know it a lot too. Yeah, I like to make some moves here and there.
A little between the legs.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like pulling it, a little toe drag here, there. A little wand is nice and easy because, guys don't really want to forecheck the goalie. So you just kind of pop it over. They think you're making a pass. They just veer off and you can just dish it to the side. But yeah, I love playing the puck. I don't know why. It's something I've always kind of worked on. I saw that early on in my career back when I was playing ice is, okay, this is something that is intangible that can take me to the next level. This is something that if you can do it well and you can do it efficiently and effectively, will transcend your game beyond just stopping the puck well. If I can break a puck out, if I can throw it to my guy and it's a 2-on-1 back, well, I've just created a scoring chance. So I'll always look for those opportunities. Sometimes it'll get me in trouble, but I can often bail myself out. But it's something that I definitely look for, especially those quick plays. I make a stop. Everyone thinks it's going to be a whistle, and I drop it, and I sauce it to the sidewall. And now we got 2 guys buzzing, and their 3 guys are deep because they think it's going to be a face-off.
Strong move.
Yeah, do you think, obviously you said you work on your, puck handling skills, but do you think playing out and, being able to just shoot the puck with a normal stick benefits you in goal as well?
I think so. Obviously, the more you kind of do something, it helps. But yeah, I spend a lot of time, especially in France, I'll just go and put my goalie gear on and I'll stick handle and shoot pucks and try and go bar down and do anything. I think one of my biggest strengths is being able to read plays. That's how I make a lot of my saves. Is I don't need to rely on my, perfect side to side movement. I can read a play. So if I can read a play coming in on me, I can read a forecheck. I can read a breakout where I can make the right play, playing the puck that way.
I like that because as a goalie, you kind of have the best view on the whole rink of that.
It's an awesome view. It's so fun. I don't know why more people aren't goalies, man. You get to see everything coming at you.
I think groins.
Groins, yeah, the knees, man. The knees. I don't know about how long they're gonna last.
Knees, hip flexors, groins.
Yeah, you'll get that flight home after a tournament and you hit the tunnel and you're like, oh, wow, sitting down for 4 hours. Let's get in bed and let's get some stretching going.
Mm-hmm.
That Theragun is my best friend. I can take that thing with me all the time on the rink. I'll just be sitting there watching games and just right on the hips.
Nice.
Another plug there. Promo code HARTWELL.
Oh, it's the best Christmas gift ever. It's a savior. I don't think I realize how much I couldn't imagine doing a tournament without it now.
So you travel a lot, right? How is it traveling with goalie gear?
It sucks, man. It sucks. My gear can be perfectly dry and I'll be at 49.5 pounds. And I'm just okay, well, I'm trying to hit this next flight. I can't finish a game and hop on the next flight out. I need time to dry the gear out. It still is over, so I got to pay the overcharge. It sucks. But that's the position I chose, so I got to live with it.
They should do something like American Airlines, just have a special discount for goalies.
The Bauer pads helped a little bit. They're a little lighter than my old thick CCMs, but even just getting a bag that's big enough, it can withstand it's jam packed in there. Go through bags pretty quick.
So I gotta ask. You talk about your Bauer pads. Is the green for something, or you saw them and you like them?
My Alberta Pro team here, my dad owns it's the Sherwood Park Archers. We got green jerseys.
Okay.
And I'm a huge Ottinger fan. I think he's electric to watch. I think he's a mini robot who just stops pucks. I think he's that's who I try and model my game after. like now as a current goalie. He makes this positional sound saves, but then he'll dive across and rod someone with his glove or throw the paddle out and stop it. I just really like watching him. So when I saw one of his pro return sets come up, like we're pretty similar in height, so I was like, these should fit me perfectly. Let's get them.
Okay. I was curious on, the green is really far away from the baby blue of the Rage Cats, so I was curious on where the green came from.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully sell a couple more cars here and I can get a custom Rage Cat set.
There you go.
I thought we got the baby blue jerseys. I was thinking if I could get the color of the steel net on the inside of the puck. It's the old traditional white pads on white ice, the baby blue on the baby blue steel net.
Okay.
I'll hopefully hide the 5-hole a little bit. Oh, it's open, and then close it up quick.
I mean,
I like that.
there's always pad wrapping it too.
I did that. It's good. It just leaves like my ASU pads are pretty beat up now. They got glue on them still.
Oh, okay.
Like they're and it's kind of expensive.
Yeah,
it's
it's not.
Kinda.
Like one sheet is like you can't even do it all with one sheet. I mean, I kind of pad wrap the entire pad, but yeah, it was fun that one summer. Everyone's like, "You got new pads?" I was like, "No, just pad wrap." Mama Hartwell did it up good.
Now, are you old school or are you new school in that with roller flies or something else to slide across?
Yeah, no, I'm a roller fly hater. I get it for
Okay.
young kids. I get it for young kids, but I don't know. You shouldn't be able to backside push in roller hockey. Like in the butterfly, and I just get up and push. Like that's ice hockey goalie. Like I don't know. That's my take on it. I do put some Redmond was on the roller dad talking about the slide tape. I immediately was like, okay, like can I get that link? I try that out. Just put a little bit on. I could feel it a little bit. It's probably just better to just protect the pad. But yeah, I'm kind of at a point where I'm like, that's probably enough. That's all I need.
Okay.
Yeah, you got what you like. You know what you like.
Yeah, I've been using like the Bear pad for a while now, so it's kind of used to it. So I don't want to just cover the entire pad in this slide tape and be out of position. I feel like I've kind of learned the game with just the regular pads, how they are. And I had the mission slides. They were nice, but I also had those when I was like 15, 16. So like I said, I like them for the kids. You're up in the pros. I think you should wear, pads.
Ban the roller flies in the pro division. I hear it. There we go.
I don't want no goalie to hate me, but I just like, I'm talking from a position where like I'm 6'3", 6'4". I kind of get to where I need to be. So I get it if you're a little bit smaller. I don't want anyone hating me on it, but I just think when I see a guy backside push and roller, I'm just like, that doesn't really seem right.
It's okay. We had someone that said that all pros shouldn't be allowed to wear cages. So
Really?
yeah.
I love when guys wear cages. That means they're just going straight on blocking pucks. Just put the bubble on and just eat it with your chest.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is when I play out most of the time, I've lost several teeth, right? So, I threw the cage on because I was tired of paying the dental bill, and yeah, I mean, instantly I'm like, all right, you guys are screwed. I'm not afraid to block pucks. I'm going to the corners hard.
Exactly.
And if I get hit in the face, you're going to hear it. So, easy penalty.
Yeah, I'm not against the cages. I think those guys that go in fearless, and they kind of need to.
Yeah.
At that level,
especially
it's a game of margins. Like losing a battle, you could be without the puck for a minute and a half. Like if you're going in there flying and you don't care. I mean, it's nice to get that double minor high stick, but I also don't want my guys like bleeding out and not being able to get back in or losing an eye. I hate to see that.
Yeah.
man.
That is the downside of it.
Teach
And
their
now
own. I don't got to worry about it. I got a cage.
Yeah.
So, Lane, the off season, right? So you're in the off season right now. What's the off season look for you until next summer?
Next summer, well, I don't know. We'll see here. Just kind of just working, making sure I just moved out, so kind of getting my own bearings as a young adult here. finding my own way, and then just working out a lot, trying to get ready. I've been in the sauna a lot, playing other sports. I think now is the perfect time. I was all hockey my whole life, so I'm gonna try out a couple different things. Like my whole family curls, so I know that's a Canadian sport, but it'd be fun to try step outside the box and try stuff like that.
I've heard great things about curling. I hear it's an amazing social event.
I was about to say, it's very similar to like the roller after, we go up and have a couple of drinks with your team after, and you talk about the game and have some laughs, and that's really the best part of it all.
I've heard it's customary that the winners buy beer.
Yeah, hopefully the losing team's on a poor sport and it takes off, but that's very similar. Of like go up, have a couple of drinks, and just enjoy each other's company. I think it's just the best part about roller. People don't really kind of they talk about people in roller talk about it, but ice hockey people coming over, they just think it's this funny game where you go, but it's really the community that makes it the best.
Agreed.
Well, it's funny talk about curling. They now have like the dry land curling now, where it's the metal rollers in the curling, right? So you can now roll it down like the hardwood floor.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
And they have it like semi-pitched so that the roller will not like go off. And so like it's near us, Justin. They have one.
Really?
And it's in Greenville, South Carolina, but it's they have like 2 or 3 lanes of it, and you can just curl it down the lane. It's kind of cool.
That's cool.
Next
Like
time we go to Greenville.
any way to make like any sport more accessible, I think is awesome.
Yeah, it's like the roller hockey to ice. Now you have the dry land curling to actual curling.
Yeah, exactly. Get more people involved in like any sport. I think it's cool. Like just exposure, and not at an elementary level. Go out to like the little roller hockey camp, even if it's ball hockey. I don't get to hate on ball hockey either. Like more people playing your sport should be a benefit. But if they like ball hockey, now they want it to be a little bit faster. Okay, maybe I'll get a pair of inline skates and throw some elbow pads on and start playing roller. Oh, this is fun. Well, maybe I can afford a full set of ice gear and see if I can make that work. And just it's just levels to it, and making it more accessible to people is awesome.
And I don't think people realize how big ball hockey is. It's huge.
It's huge.
They have a national league.
It's crazy. Like it's awesome. Like or floorball even like you're on your like everything like that. Like hockey's hockey.
Yeah. And none of it's in the Olympics, which is crazy. Besides ice hockey, but like nothing below professional ice hockey and going to the Olympics. There's nothing else.
I know. It's so disappointing.
Yes.
It's brutal.
But there's, there was breakdancing, and now there's going to be squash. Squash is in 2028.
Hey, don't hate on squash. I play it. It's awesome. My girlfriend's dad is big on squash. I've been going out to the club. It's a good workout. I actually think it like helped my game. It's side to side. It's tracking. Okay. It's a good workout. Get a good sweat going. He just throws in the corners and makes me run. So it's fun.
But yeah, I mean, we could definitely get some different sports in there. That makes sense. Especially, we have
breakdancing.
Yeah. You
have should be there.
You have a World Games roller hockey that happens every year, but we can't get it in the Olympics. It's like it's already primed for an organized sport to be in the Olympics. Let's go. Get it in there.
Well, that's the thing, that they had it at the World Games, but in terms of like it being a showcase, because that's put on by like the Olympic Committee, right? The World Games, they only broadcasted like the semi or the final. Like you have all these high quality games going on all the time, and it's kind of out of the way. That's not really part of their. It was just like you have this big event. Why aren't we like? Obviously, they have tons of events going on all the time, but a broadcast should not be a hidden thing. Even if it's a solo cam, just kind of going back and forth, no commentator. at least there's like ways to get people into the game, or they see how good like Namibia's been. Like people in North America, they don't even know how good they are, and that they're unreal. So just kind of showing off how global the game is, because it really is global.
Were there any teams that you played against that you were surprised that they had or like countries that you were surprised they had a team?
Back in my junior, back when I played juniors, we started in the bottom division, and I was like, oh wow, like India brought a team, and like that was kind of cool. I never knew like that. Obviously, they have a massive population, but I just didn't know that like, roller was a thing there. Like I thought it was like all their other sports, so that was pretty cool to see. And I think we played against New Zealand, I think. So I was like, okay, this is a lot farther stretched. I thought it was more of like a northern hemisphere type game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a long flight for New Zealand.
Yeah. So that was cool. Like juniors was like really fun because that was my first kind of experience with Canada, and we were started in the bottom division, so it's not like we were playing a ton of amazing games, but we still got to be there and we played France, and that was, I think, a wake up call. That was like, oh wow, like we're not it's not just Canada hockey walks through again. There's other countries that are doing this really, really well, and that kind of fueled my desire to kind of keep getting better.
Very cool.
Now, before, and just unless you have something else, you have anything else you want to ask him? So
I'm just
Lane,
shooting the shit.
Yeah. So Lane, before we depart, what is something maybe motivation that keeps you going that you could tell younger generations about playing roller or just playing hockey in general? Some advice?
Don't stop having fun. It sounds simple, but if you're not having fun, do something that you are having fun. Like, it doesn't have to be hockey, but like, have fun. That's the biggest part of. I don't get when people come to tournaments and they don't want to play, or they're like, oh, I got a game, I'd rather be here on the beach. I'm like, well, then why are you coming to these tournaments? Like come to the tournament, give it your all, really just soak in the moment and have as much fun as possible. That's why I keep playing. I just love showing up to tournaments. I love being at the rink and watching the games. If the times get tough, yeah, it could be unfun, but if you know this is something you enjoy, like keep pushing, because it'll be good. I don't know. Have fun is like the main thing for me. I don't get when I just want people to enjoy it. And that's whenever I do camps, or whenever I'm chirping guys in practice, or I'm, helping little kids out. Like I try and joke with them or have fun with them. I don't want it to be all serious. And there's a time to like, this is how you do things, but if they're not having fun, then I don't want to be a part of it.
Love it.
Yeah, those are some good words to end on there. And so, to our viewers, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. And we only have a few more episodes left till the end of our season 1 here on No Offsides podcast. So if you're forechecking roller hockey, don't let up, because there's no offsides. I'm Dan Dean.
I'm Justin Wood.
And Lane, appreciate you joining us today. Value your time. Hope to speak to you sometime soon. Maybe get you on a goalie panel.
Oh, that'd be fun. It's 2025 State Worst Champions, Connex Rage Cats. Heard it here first.
All right.
Hell yeah.
There you go. That's how we're ending this bad boy. Peace out, everyone.
See you, everybody.